So hello and welcome back to the Gorilla Biker, and you might, if you actually watch all of the videos, you will realize that I literally just came to this place and now I'm leaving. And the reason for that is, while I was here, I actually realized I could actually make a second video, because I've been asked a lot about what's the weirdest things I find about America. So, and I kind of mentioned one of them, brought up a little bit in the last video. So I said, let's talk about it, you know, let's talk about the things that I find weird. One of them is definitely HOAs. And before anyone mentions, oh, but they protect your property values and whatnot, honestly, I get that, but it's also kind of sad that the focus is always on, like, property value rather than just letting people enjoy where they live, you know. It's I don't know, look, maybe it's just me, but I find it really, really strange that, like, people buy a house and, like, exist in it, you know. It's weird because they don't seem to live in it so much as just they're existing there. I want eventually to own property that I can live at, you know. I can make my own, have a workshop, invite friends around, work on their bikes with them, teach them how to work on bikes and cars. I don't like working on cars as much, but, like, you know, I get it. Every little helps. People need to learn this stuff too, and it's all very doable and it's all worthwhile learning. So that's one thing I find really strange over here is HOAs. You know, it was really funny to me when I first learned about them, because obviously I'd heard about them online, but I never really, like, obviously when you're renting a house over here, you have to sign the HOA contract and stuff as well, which I blatantly ignore. I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. You want to find me, like, some of the HOA rules I have is like, this many vehicles registered at your property, no working on anything mechanical in the garage. What's a garage for? Like, roll it up and shove it up your keister, buddy. You know, there's a couple of sensible ones, like keeping your house looking tidy, whatever. It's like, fair enough, you know. I'm more okay with those type of ones that, like, the house isn't just falling into terrible disrepair. And those houses, we're going to talk about those houses in just a second. But so, you know, I understand that some of the things make sense, but, like, it's also really weird to me that people need to be told to keep where they live nice, you know. I mean, would you not just take a bit of pride in your home and try to keep it nice anyway? I don't know. Odd, very odd. That particular thing. HOAs, I find them weird, very weird. Number two that I find weird and kind of sad is, you know, these type of houses. Obviously they're cool and all, but, like, there's a lot of space around here. Would you not rather have a garden? They're not cheap. If they were cheap, it'd be fine, but they're not cheap. So, you know, for me, I'm like, I think they should just build houses with gardens. There's lots of space. I know some people like living in that situation, so fair enough. If you like a house that's attached to other people's houses, you know, and you can hear them all the time, whatnot, that's fair enough. I've rented plenty of houses like that. I don't know would I ever buy one, but again, I don't know will I ever buy a house, because they just keep getting more expensive, and then interest rates go up, and it's like, oh good, so they're more expensive now and the interest rate's higher. Cool. You can put so much more weight into the front brakes on this since I did the fork springs. It's great. People have asked me to review the spring changes. I can't yet, because the primary reason I have them as stiff as they are is for spicy, is for the track. Would I recommend going this stiff for the road? Probably not, to be honest. They're fine. I mean, it's not uncomfortable, it's not unpleasant, but it is definitely quite stiff. And as someone who has pretty much never had something sprung correctly, it also has been, you know, a learning experience. I've had to get used to having the springs the correct stiffness, for sure. Oh no, that sounds too echoey. We'll leave it cracked. Yeah, other weirdness then is just, like, I mean, I know there's gonna be people of a certain age group are gonna be like, you goddamn lazy young man, get out and work 7 days a week, you got soft hands, brother. There's gonna be someone like that. This country is bloody amazing. Like, there's so much to see here. I feel like if I lived here for the rest of my life, I wouldn't see 10% of what I want to. like, people here just work all the time. Like, I do have a really long commute. I hate that I have a long commute. I would rather have like a 15 to 20 minute commute, because one of the things I used to love doing is like exploring around the area on the way home from work, taking a different road, taking more time. But when you already live minimum 1 hour from work, 2 hours a day on the road, it's kind of enough. So I just tend to go to work and go straight home. Not all the time. I do still take a little adventure now and again, but generally I just go straight home. And that's something that's really common over here, is long commutes, which also kind of tends to mean you don't have like a community. Like, I have friends in work, but I live really far away from those friends, so it's really hard to meet up with them, because, you know, one thing that I want to do every weekend is I want to ride my bike. You know, that's I of course I do. That's why I work so I have money to ride bikes, which then obviously means that if I want to also spend a little time with friends, but that's going to be minimum like a 2-hour round trip, it just makes the logistics of it just a little bit more complicated. Not impossible, just a little bit more complicated. And I know America is vast in comparison to Ireland, but for sure that's one thing that I find odd, is that everyone is just okay with these super long commutes and okay with working 5 to 6 days a week. I think honestly, as humans, we should aim to push it down to like a 4-day working week, a 3-day working week. And you know, this is coming from someone, I don't really ever care about being rich. Once I have enough money to do the things I want to do, with a little bit in reserve for like emergencies, that, you know, health emergencies, whatever you might need your money for emergency wise, that's kind of how I want to live my life. I know there's going to be people who exist to earn more money grimacing at that statement, but I would rather have, like, if you told me you can work 3 days a week, still have enough money to pay for rent and afford, you know, even less bikes, but like have one bike or whatever else, I would find it very hard to say no to that. 7 days in a week, you know, if you work for 5 of them and then you're tired for one of them, because my job can be very physical some days, so sometimes the weekend I'm actually pretty tired, and then, you know, your Saturday you relax a little bit more, and then Sunday obviously you try to do stuff or whatever. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but over here I feel like in comparison to Europe and in comparison to Europeans I know, and I just don't mean just Ireland, I mean the UK, Germany, France, you know, I know plenty of people who work in those countries. There seems to be a lot more people. Why is it telling me to go Medlin Road? I think I'm going to go this way. I haven't been this way before. I think there's more of like a weird feeling of guilt from people, that they feel like they owe their employer their lives. I'm like, no, I mean, most people here do a pretty good job. You know, okay, there's some people who are lazy as sin. But I mean, you're not going to fix that overnight. If they're lazy as sin, they're lazy as sin. It is what it is. And you know, I just think that the larger amount of people, they work pretty hard at their jobs, whether it be a more physical job or not. They all take a toll, whether it be mental or physical, or both. You know. Thankfully, my job is most days more mental, because I'm carrying enough injuries already. I really don't need to add to them. Oh, my back is all better, by the way. Thanks everyone who has been asking on Instagram, especially. I do appreciate the concern and the follow-ups, but yeah, no, I think I'm actually doing a lot better. Someone in work, like well over a month ago, recommended a chiropractor. I went to said chiropractor, and it has made a massive difference to my life. They fixed, not only did they fix my back, but I've always had an issue with turning my head to the right, probably from an old rugby injury, but they actually fixed that too. Now my neck is a lot more free. So I'm not talking up chiropractors or anything. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a smart person, I know mechanics, but all I will say is, anecdotally, they fixed my back and they fixed my neck, so shout out to them at Central Chiropractory in Clayton, by the way. I'm more than happy to shout the business out, because they genuinely, I mean, I don't know did it ever come across in videos, but I was bad. I just about made it to work. I'd do as much work as I could. I'd come home and I would lie on a yoga mat flat for, you know, sometimes hours, and then, you know, work up the barrier to go and make a video or whatever. But it really sucked. Back injuries are no joke. I would not wish them on anyone, except people who harm children and whatnot. I would definitely wish back pain on them. I would wish worse on them, actually, to be honest. But like back pain plus something else, I would wish that on them. I won't say there's something else because YouTube might get upset with me, but definitely I would wish all of that stuff. What else is weird about over here? Oh yeah, I mean, it goes without saying, but one thing that's really weird from like an outside perspective is everyone just expects everyone to be shooting at each other all the time, a lot of the time in Europe, which, I mean, I already knew was false. I had already spent time in America. I had already liked America. Especially around here, people are mega friendly. Like, obviously there's a lot of people I work with who know I'm not religious, and they are very religious, and we still get on just fine because, you know, it's all just about being a decent human and being like, yeah, you know, you might not share my beliefs, but you know, we're both, or however many of us are decent people and can just get along and talk and be civil, you know, and you can even be friends if you are willing to open your mind enough to just accept that some people have different views to you, and that is okay. Now, that said, there is also a lot of like really big anger around here. People get really angry about, obviously not everyone. I mean, there's crappy people everywhere. But over here, and I mean, unfortunately, Ireland seems to have developed a little bit of that since I left. I mean, I'm sure it's always been there, boiling away under the surface, but since I left, it has definitely gotten worse. I don't ever feel like I need to say these things. I don't like talking about political stuff, so I won't. I'm just going to say it really quick. There are crappy people out there who hate other people for literally no reason. You know, how they were born, and it's nothing they can do about that. It is what it is. That's who they are, and I don't know, I think people could just be a lot kinder in general, to be honest. But basically, yeah, over here, we'll call people who aren't kind, that's what we'll say. They get very angry about other people doing things that really doesn't affect them in any way, shape or form. And I found that difficult, especially from people who, you know, you have conversations with them and otherwise they seem completely normal, but then they'll just announce that they really dislike a group of people for really no reason at all. And I found that difficult to contend with, I won't lie. Now obviously, that is the minority. Most people over here are genuinely lovely. I think you would find it hard to go to anywhere on the planet and find friendlier people than the people I've met in North Carolina, obviously people in West Virginia. Everyone is very welcoming. And it was something I had to get out of my comfort zone, is to actually meet up with a lot of people who I have met online here. And literally every single person I've met has been lovely, you know what I mean? Not one person who I knew from online has been bad, and that's something that, you know, I'm not just going to call bad weird things. There's also good weird things, and that was a weird thing, is that everyone has been genuinely super, super, super nice. Now obviously I have not ridden up to New York, as I'm constantly told. New York is different, but at the same time, people say the same about New Jersey. Several of my best friends I've made since moving to America are from New Jersey and live in New Jersey, so, you know, there's obviously that's not it's just one of those things that I think when you go in from outside and you deal with people who are fresh out of work or drove in traffic for the last few hours or whatever else, I mean, people are going to be a little bit grumpy, so maybe that's something to do with it. But yeah, I think the friendliness of people overall has been weird for me, because obviously I have a lot of friends in Ireland, but especially growing up, I dealt with a lot of unfriendly people in Ireland. Don't do it. So, you know, as a comparison, I suppose, I think people over here have been a lot nicer to deal with. Now, obviously, children can be very cruel, as can teenagers, and that is more so where I encountered the ugliness in Ireland. And obviously, I am not exactly a completely standard person in Ireland. I have much different hobbies to a lot of people, and you know, we don't need to get into it, but I'm not mentally the same as a lot of people. We'll put it that way. Rafa, you call me a name all the time that I think is probably correct. Now, this is Deer Alley, I would say, although I can see over the reeds and I don't see anything, so we're probably okay. You know, another thing about that's weird over here is and this unfortunately is a good and a bad. The bad one is that rubbish. People here don't yet appreciate just how good they have it from a nature point. I think, like, the amount of wild animals that are still in existence over here, it's amazing to me. To somewhere coming from Ireland, that, you know, we don't really have any large wild animals, plentiful wild animals anymore. Well, unless you go into the ocean. But obviously, because it's a much older, it's been populated to a larger degree, we'll call it that. Like, more people have been there longer, so there has been more time for people to make certain animals go extinct, like large deer and whatever else, which is really sad, by the way. But yeah, that's something that over here, I mean, they obviously have made certain animals go extinct over here, but they still have like bears and these giant ass birds and deer and elk, and it's just amazing, and I love seeing it. And that's a good and a weird bad thing. I don't think a lot of people appreciate it yet. They see a lot of animals as pests, which, I mean, if you're a farmer, I get that, I do. Oh, let's go this way, actually. It's telling me I can go this way too, and I skipped this road the last time. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is very nice. Oh, while we're on this road, another really good weird thing, the road surfaces. They are bloody amazing. The road surfaces here are genuinely, and I know this is a North Carolina thing, so I'm really glad I live here. The road surfaces here in North Carolina are phenomenal, like phenomenal. You go to the mountains, they're so smooth, like it's just amazing. Like where I was recently, the Cherahalla Skyway, unbelievable. Like blew my mind how good the road surfaces were. So that's a good weird thing. What else is weird? What else is weird? Oh yeah. I probably shouldn't say this, because every time I ever bring this up, people call me out for the amount of bikes I own. My bikes were cheap, relatively. You know, and also, I mean, I'm pretty much done buying bikes now for the very long term foreseeable, because I obviously have the Valkyrie to fix up, and I have enough. I have enough to be doing. You know, there won't be any more added anytime soon. Oh yeah, we can get on that brake, one finger. You can just lean on this front end so much more now. This is a rather straight road, eh? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the cars people drive over here. I mean, like, I talk to people who are not that old and have crazy car payments, and I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I know we obviously all grew up very differently. I grew up being told by my dad in particular, you know, only pay cash for everything, which obviously I haven't done, because the world has changed a little bit from when he grew up. It's a lot more difficult to just pay cash for everything, but still, that's always in the back of my mind, and it's always like, I would rather have savings earning me money than just be paying for like the most expensive car that I could afford, if that makes sense. I would be really uncomfortable with just paying out the nose for something. Oh, there's a cool place in here. I don't know what happened here, but I want to show you. Oh, this is really off-roady again. Oh shit, I actually went the wrong way. Oh yeah, no I didn't. This is the right way. So up here, I've walked here with the toaster before. Up here there's all in there is actually like, it's sectioned off because of, like, I don't know, it says something to do with environmental stuff. I don't know what it was, but while we were passing it, that's dry enough to hold you, isn't it? You're not a heavy bike, it'll be alright. But yeah, over here, this used to be like a pitch or something, but now there's like a load of wild things growing in here. It's just like clothes. I don't know what happened. I don't know, was it polluted or whatever else, but like, it's mad. The whole courts and everything are just overgrown with trees, and there's no reason why. I really want to know why, but it just to say it's closed for like something. I don't know, is it like you know, Fallout style, someone dumped a barrel of radiation there or something, you know. Probably not that. But yeah, I think we can probably end it here, actually. And that's kind of the main weirdness, is the HOA thing. For a country that very recently fought for freedom and whatnot, to hand all of that over to generally really bored people who make like far too many rules for the house that you apparently own. Wild. Crazy to me. I do like that word. It's one I've adopted from the Americans, is wild. But yeah, and obviously everything else I mentioned, I don't need to rehash them, but the weirdest thing is that more people don't ride bikes. Like, North Carolina is literally one of the most perfect climates to ride bikes. It gets like slightly cold in the winter and then sometimes too hot in the summer, but like otherwise it is perfection. And I don't understand why people don't you know, make use of that. I don't get it. I don't understand. But yeah, what is the weirdest thing about the country where you are from? What do you find the weirdest? Let me know in the comments what country it is. I'm interested to know. I think over here it's just they really like their rules. I think that's probably, to summarize everything, the rules, the amount of rules that they have over here for things is just crazy to me, you know. Crazy. And I know recently Sailing Yacht Zora, Reese, was here, and he made a very similar comment that they just really like rules here, which, you know, obviously is a bit backwards for the land of the free, etc. So yeah, that's it. That's all I have. I do really like it here. Would I recommend visiting North Carolina? Absolutely. Like I said, super friendly people, super amazing section of the world, countryside-wise, scenery-wise, animals-wise. It is a really, really, really nice place. So come visit me, basically, is what I'm saying. You know, it's like, come on over here, boy. Jesus Christ, will give you an old spin around. You can have an old look. Specifically calling out On Two Wheels with Rainbow and Grumpy Bike Wizard. Come visit me. We'll ride the mountains. Do it. Aiden, and Aiden's, my uncle. Everyone's welcome. Just let me know. Come visit. Anyway, if you watched this far, thank you very much for watching. As always, a very special thank you to all of my patrons, all of whom are also welcome to come visit me and go for a spin. And yeah, until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. Can you have enough pictures of your bike? I don't think so. I have to walk further away from my bike right now because I don't know when I'll get to replace my 16mm lens, so we'll make do. Not that this one isn't like also an amazing lens. It's just, you know, you just have to walk more, which is, you know, difficult. Do you have a camera? What's your camera? What's your favorite lens for it? Let me know. Yeah, there you go. Do you have a camera? What's your favorite lens? Why do you like it? Should I buy it? I can't afford it. So I won't buy it. But yeah, let me know. Bye, outro crew.